Welcome back to the studio, everyone. Today I'm creating an abstract painting using just one color, and that simple limitation is exactly what makes this process so fascinating. The painting is called Hidden Depths, a title inspired by the idea that even the most seemingly simple surfaces can contain layers of emotion, movement, mystery, and meaning. Many people assume that abstract art depends on a wide range of colors to create interest, contrast, and complexity. But this painting explores a different path. By working with only one color and allowing the acrylic paint to flow freely across the canvas, we begin to discover how depth can emerge from subtle variations in transparency, texture, density, and motion. As I prepare the paint, I want you to notice how the consistency becomes just as important as the color itself. The fluidity of the acrylic allows it to move organically, creating natural formations that cannot be completely controlled or predicted. This balance between intention and spontaneity is one of the reasons I am so drawn to abstract painting. Every movement becomes a conversation between the artist and the medium. Rather than forcing the paint into a predetermined image, I allow it to reveal possibilities as it travels across the surface. The canvas begins as an empty space, quiet and full of potential, and with the first pour, that silence is broken. A stream of color spreads outward, forming rivers, pools, and delicate edges that immediately suggest movement and energy. Even though there is only one hue present, the painting does not appear flat. Areas where the paint gathers become darker and more intense, while thinner sections create lighter tones and translucent veils. This natural variation transforms a single color into an entire visual landscape. As the paint continues to flow, I tilt the canvas gently, guiding the movement without overpowering it. The paint responds to gravity, creating pathways that resemble geological formations, ocean currents, cloud systems, or even aerial views of distant terrain. One of the beautiful aspects of abstract art is that it invites multiple interpretations. There is no single correct way to see the painting. Each viewer brings their own memories, emotions, and experiences to the work, discovering forms and narratives that may never have been consciously intended. While I work, I focus on rhythm rather than representation. I'm not trying to paint a mountain, a face, or a recognizable object. Instead, I'm exploring relationships between movement, balance, tension, and flow. The painting evolves through observation and response. When an area becomes too heavy, I create space elsewhere. When the composition feels quiet, I introduce more movement. This process resembles listening as much as it resembles painting. The canvas constantly provides feedback, and every decision influences the next stage of development. As layers begin to overlap, hidden structures emerge beneath the surface. This is where the title, Hidden Depths, becomes especially meaningful. The most compelling elements are often not the ones that immediately capture attention, but the subtle details that reveal themselves over time. Thin, transparent layers allow traces of earlier movements to remain visible beneath newer passages of paint. These glimpses create a sense of history within the artwork, suggesting that what we see on the surface is only part of a larger story. In many ways, this reflects human experience. We all carry layers beneath our outward appearance, memories, emotions, dreams, fears, and experiences that shape who we are yet remain largely unseen. Through abstraction, these invisible dimensions can be explored without the need for literal imagery. As I continue tilting and rotating the canvas, new patterns emerge unexpectedly. Some areas develop intricate cellular textures, while others remain smooth and atmospheric. The contrast between these surfaces creates visual interest and encourages the eye to travel across the painting. Even within a monochromatic composition, there is an incredible range of possibilities. Texture becomes a language. Transparency becomes a language. Movement becomes a language. Together, they communicate ideas that words often struggle to express. One of the most important lessons in abstract painting is learning when to act and when to wait. It can be tempting to keep adding more paint, more movement, more complexity, but sometimes the strongest decision is restraint. I spend time simply observing the canvas, watching how the paint settles and interacts with itself. Tiny changes continue to occur long after the initial pour. Edges soften, colors shift in intensity. New connections form between different areas of the composition. These gradual transformations remind me that creativity is not always about constant action. Sometimes it is about creating conditions that allow something meaningful to emerge naturally. The flowing paint becomes a metaphor for trust. There is always uncertainty in the process. No matter how much experience an artist has, the outcome can never be fully predicted. Yet within that uncertainty lies possibility. Every unexpected mark carries the potential to become an essential part of the final work. Instead of resisting surprises, I welcome them. Some of my favorite moments in painting happen when the material behaves in ways I never anticipated. Those moments reveal something beyond planning, something closer to discovery. As the composition develops, I begin to notice areas that feel almost like hidden worlds. Darker regions suggest depth and mystery, while lighter passages create a sense of openness and light. The painting starts to resemble a map of emotions rather than a map of places. Certain sections feel calm and contemplative, while others appear energetic and dramatic. This emotional landscape emerges entirely through abstract relationships. No figures are present, no recognizable scenes are depicted, yet the painting still communicates. That is one of the extraordinary powers of abstraction. It allows us to connect with feeling directly, bypassing the need for literal representation. The viewer becomes an active participant in creating meaning. Looking closer, subtle details begin to reveal themselves. Fine lines trace pathways through larger forms. Delicate gradients transition from darkness to light. Tiny textures catch the eye before disappearing back into the larger composition. These details reward slow looking. In a world that often encourages speed and distraction, abstract art offers an invitation to pause, observe, and engage more deeply. The longer we spend with a painting, the more it reveals. Hidden depths exist not only within the artwork, but also within the experience of viewing it. As the paint reaches the edges of the canvas, I pay careful attention to balance. Balance in abstract art does not necessarily mean symmetry. Instead, it involves creating a sense of harmony between contrasting elements. Movement and stillness, density and openness, complexity and simplicity all contribute to the overall feeling of the piece. Even though the composition may appear spontaneous, every stage involves careful observation and decision-making. The freedom of free-flow acrylic painting is supported by an underlying awareness of structure and visual relationships. This combination of intuition and intention creates a dynamic creative process. The painting now enters a quieter phase. Most of the major movements have already occurred, and the surface begins to settle into its final state. At this point, I focus on refinement rather than transformation. Small adjustments help strengthen the composition without disrupting its natural character. I want the painting to retain the energy of its creation while also achieving a sense of completion. This can be one of the most challenging aspects of abstract art, recognizing the moment when the work is finished. There is always the temptation to continue, but every painting eventually reaches a point where additional changes would diminish rather than enhance its impact. Learning to recognize that moment requires patience, experience, and trust. As I step back and view the entire canvas, the title, Hidden Depths, feels increasingly appropriate. What began as a single color has evolved into a rich visual environment filled with complexity, atmosphere, and emotion. The painting demonstrates that limitation can be a powerful source of creativity. By removing the distraction of multiple colors, attention shifts toward other qualities that are often overlooked. We become more aware of movement, transparency, texture, and spatial relationships. We begin to see how much can be expressed through subtle variation rather than dramatic contrast. This experience serves as a reminder that depth does not always require abundance. Sometimes the greatest richness emerges from simplicity. Throughout this process, the paint has acted almost like a living element, responding to gravity, surface tension, and time. My role as the artist has been less about control and more about collaboration. Together, artist and medium have shaped a composition that neither could have created alone. That partnership lies at the heart of free-flow acrylic painting. It is an exploration of possibility, a dialogue between intention and chance, structure and freedom, presence and mystery. As the final details settle into place, I invite you to take a moment and simply observe. Notice the areas that draw your attention first. Notice where your eye travels next. Notice the emotions, memories, or associations that arise as you engage with the painting. There are no right or wrong answers. Abstract art thrives on personal interpretation. What one viewer sees as an oceanic landscape, another may experience as an emotional journey or a meditation on light and shadow. Each perspective adds new meaning to the work. The painting becomes complete not only through its creation, but through its encounter with the viewer. Thank you for joining me in the studio for this exploration of monochromatic abstract painting. I hope this artwork encourages you to look beyond the surface, to appreciate the beauty of subtle variation, and to embrace the creative possibilities that emerge when limitations become opportunities. Hidden Depths is ultimately a celebration of discovery within the medium, within the creative process, and within ourselves. Even with only one color, an entire universe can unfold across the canvas, revealing layers of complexity that might otherwise remain unseen. As this painting dries and the final patterns become permanent, its hidden depths continue to invite reflection, reminding us that simplicity and complexity are not opposites, but partners in the endless journey of artistic expression.